Hey guys, Sandy here, and I am back with my Secret Not Secret Kit Club kit. I've only completed one layout and I have a lot left. This isn't even all the paper left in it. There's more down there. I'm going to scrapbook another layout. Now this photo that I'm scrapbooking is a 5x7 and it is a very, very poor quality photo. The lighting was not good. The quality of the camera was not good. But it's a picture of me and my bee. Her name's Barb and I call her Bee. She is my aunt, and this was for her 60th surprise birthday party that we had traveled back to Maryland to see her for, and I just wanted to scrap this picture because it means a lot to me and I love my bee so much. So even though the quality of the photo is poor, I don't care. It's more about the person that's in the photo and the memory that's behind it. So let's see what I can do.
So I start out by layering my photo on this bag that some of the goodies came in my kit. And I actually cut off the lip of the bag because I thought it looked better without it. And I'm looking at this sheet of paper and just trying to find a good match for something that I can mat the photo on, because I know I'm going to be using these squares of color. And I don't find anything, and I went and grabbed black. Now, I wish I had grabbed navy blue, just because there is navy blue on these pages, and it would have made sense, but I didn't. I grabbed the black, and I think it might be the only black that's even on the page, but I'm happy with the page when it's finished, so I'm okay with that. So I'm going to layer it on this bag, and I'm just going to offset it a little bit, and I was just trying to figure out where I wanted the photo to lay on the stripes, like if I wanted it on the white or the gray, which way I wanted to go. So, got that done. Now, I know that this is going to be Fave because, you know, she's my favorite. Bee's just a great person, and she's one of my favorite people, so I knew that that was going to go on there. And I especially liked this word Fave because it has the E. It drives me nuts to see Fave written as F-A-V, because I'm like, what's a fav? It looks like fav to me. I'm sorry, it just does. So I decide to use some of the die cuts, and I decide that I'm going to make a grid pattern next to this photo. So I'm just looking at this paper and I'm trying to decide which way I want to cut it out, and I'm like, do I want to tuck some things around there? I'm like, how gritty do I want to get with this? And then I decide I'm going to get really gritty, and that's me trying to like count out in my head how many I was going to need and which line I want it to cut apart. Because I really like the B side of this paper and I want it to be able to use that as well. So I don't want to just like randomly cut into the boxes and get a bunch of boxes from all over the page. So this is what I do and I end up with, and some of them are like matted and some of them aren't. And I stick this little pink tag up there poking out, and I know that I'm going to use it and it's going to stay there until I'm ready to do it. Now, there I go, using these butterflies. Look at me go. So, Bee loves butterflies. She just loves them. So I figured that this would be a great page to use some. And I'm just trying to pick out which what are these? Why is my mind blanking? Which letter stickers I want to use to write out my for Fave. And since this was her birthday, I thought that today is your day and celebrate went perfectly out of the die cut pack. So that's what we ended up with there. I just used my little dot runner from Scotch to put some adhesive on the wood veneer. And I haven't adhered any of these squares yet. And that is okay, because I mess around with them a little bit more and do some other things to them as well. Now I grabbed my Wink Estella pen, and I'm going to add some glitter just to the bee, because that is her name, Bee. Well, her name's not really Bee, it's Barb, but I call her Bee. And just the letter B, not BEA or anything like that. So I just grab my heat gun, throw a little heat on that. Otherwise, I would be smearing the glitter all over the place. Now, the Wink Estella pens really do dry quickly, but I gotta tell you, if I don't throw a little heat on it, glitters everywhere. It gets smeared everywhere. It gets on me, it gets on my page, it gets in the photo. So it's better just to throw the little heat gun down there and just be good with it. I'm just flipping through the stuff in my kit, the papers, and I'm going to be using some strips because I want to put something on the top and the bottom. I really like edging around my layouts, and I end up matting them just about every layout. So I've decided to try some of this a little bit more, where I put a top and a bottom on the layout, and that's what's going on here. So again, I use those butterflies, and that's from the washi tape book, and then a couple of the branding strips. And here I am going to start adhering things down and making it work. Now, it's a little bit frustrating because these squares on this cut apart sheet, or I don't even know if it's technically considered a cut apart sheet, but these squares, not all of them are the same size. It drives me crazy, and it's not user error, and you can see I'm just like trying to figure out that, you know, which way it should go, because they aren't all the same size. Like, different rows are different sizes or different orientations, so they're not true squares. They're not true squares. It drives me nuts. Okay, but we make it work. And I decide to put the floral up at the top. And, I'm wondering if I should have put the floral on the bottom with that geometric up at the top. Now that I'm looking at it, I think if I was scrapbooking this page right now, I would have done that. Maybe. We'll see. Okay, so I'm just lining up these squares, and I do the top and the bottom because I'm lining it up with the top of that gray bag underneath the photo, and then the bottom where the photo is. And because all the squares are not the exact same size, the grid is not going to be completely even. And see, it bothers me right there, so I decided to trim a little bit off. And then I don't even go with that card in that orientation. Excuse me. Couldn't control that yawn at all. Now I moved over that floral because I had 3 matted cards and they were all in a row, and I didn't want them all in a row. And I'm just kind of looking at this and trying to figure out what I want to do, because I know I want to add something. And I figure I have wood veneer already in a little diagonal line, and if I bring up this little piece over here, it'll be in a big diagonal line. Because even though I'm doing a grid pattern, I'm also doing a diagonal with the wood veneer. But, you know, that's how it goes. And I really like this bow, and I'm like, I want it on this page. I'm like, where does it go? And then I get distracted. I pull off the puffy sticker that's on the back of it, because it's kind of a thick bow, especially with that puffy sticker. And I just decide that it's going on the bottom down here, and I'll work on that in a minute. So I added a few little things, a little label sticker and a star from Ellie Studio, and now I'm adding some washi tape strips from Recollections, and we're just doing a couple of them. Oh, I also added that blue star that I'm tucking that washi tape sticker under. That's from American Crafts out of the Target dollar spot. Oops. Hit the table. And then I'm going to add some more gold. So I have gold in that washi tape. It's in that heart. And I'm like, I need to bring in a little bit more. So I pull this doily sticker, and it needs to be poked. Like, all the little doily holes need to be poked, and that takes me a good minute. So I won't make you watch that. And I'm just going to label that bow over it. Now I also cut down the bow. So I cut off the back little piece and just use some ATG to adhere the bow back together. So it's still a bow, it's just missing the back part of it because it really was too bulky for my liking. And after I finished the page off camera, I actually took some Zots and reinforced that glue. I could have used a glue gun as well, but the Zots were handy and less messy. So I have these Evilicious puffy stickers, and I believe I've used these a lot, and they're like the never-ending puffy sticker. So I'm just sprinkling these around the page just because I want to add a little bit of something extra. I love getting a kit and then being able to pull in something of my own that I already own from my stash, because I feel like if I limit myself to just the kit, then I'm limiting my supplies, and that's not fun. And I feel like if I'm just using my stash, well, my stash is one big kit anyway, right? I mean, it's there to make pages, so combining a new kit and some of my stash, just like, it's a great feeling. So I'm going to trim that little bit of gold sticker off the bottom there. And I believe I'm getting close to being finished with this bad boy. Oh, so I decided to bring some gold up to the top. And I've got this, that's a lot of little bits of cluster up there. But I'm okay with it. And I feel like that camera right there needs a little something. It's just kind of blah. So I pull, I have these My Mind's Eye brads, and I pull the epoxy off of the brad and just pop it on the lens of the camera. And it's a little pink one, and it looks great. I also grabbed these new brads from Simple Stories where they just don't have the brad back. And it's a bee, so I tuck it there by the bow, just because I thought it was appropriate. And then I'm going to pull out this basic gray brad, and what I do is rip off the tines and put a puffy pop dot underneath of it and put it on the page to be glued. Yep, there we go. And those came from my stash as well. So I'm looking at that. The photo I realize needs a little bit more adhesive, and then I'm like, it needs a little bit of gold splatter. So I grab my Heidi Swap Color Shine, and I just do some splatters, and a couple of them come out a little bit bigger than I was expecting. So I'm going to blot those up a little bit, but that's going to finish the page. After I get those big ones right there blotted, it's going to be done. Alright guys, thanks so much for watching. Thanks for checking out this video that I used my Secret Not Secret Kit Club kit on. And if you're interested, of course, that link will be down below so that you can check it out. So check it out. Have a great week, guys.